Right, how I beat a Fide master in 17 moves. Today we have an amazing video because I'm going to be showing you the time when I beat my first ever master, really. I mean, I had beat a national master in a simul game, but this was just a genuine 10 plus 10, and this is, you know, we're on the road to 2100. So today's video I'm going to be doing more of an analysis, but on my normal series, road to 2100, we're playing games, and that video should be coming out a bit later after this. But I had to show you this game because if you're struggling with your chess, you're struggling with whatever. I mean, really, the story of this game is I got Campy Blackter, which is pretty much salmonella, from eating raw liver. I was eating about 3 packs of raw liver a day from M&S. And so I was sick. I lost about 15 kg, and all I could do was play chess. And so, you know, shout out to the Campy Blackter. It got me here. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's waste no more time. And e4. So e4 was played, I should say, and I'm going to try to break this game down for you, as if you hardly know anything about chess. So if you know nothing about chess, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm going to be explaining stuff. So the move e4, one of the most popular moves in chess. Now I play the move d4, so if you're starting to play chess, I recommend either e4 or d4. But, you know, both have their own merits. I play both. So I played the move e4, and now my opponent played the move c5. And bear in mind, when you play someone who's a lot better than you, a Fide master, and you see that kind of red thing there, you play differently as you do when you play like a 1900, or you play 2000 in my case. For you, it would be whatever rating you're at, playing someone there. You play someone a couple hundred elo points higher. This guy is in real life. It's scary. It's you kind of second guess yourself. You're like, well, I can't do that because he already knows that. So it's an interesting experience. I played the move knight e2, and this move, the Sicilian defense, is one of Bobby Fischer's favorites. Magnus Carlsen likes to play this. I mean, a lot of top players, Hikaru Nakamura. And basically, black is controlling the center with this pawn here. So you maybe want to take the center with e4, d4, but if you go there, they're going to take it. You take your queen out, they're going to get their knight out. So here I played the move knight e2, which typically knight c3 is played. And what white would do is they'll normally go for the open Sicilian, where they'll open in the middle and they'll take it. But this move knight e2 is kind of a sideline, and it's, oh my goodness. When I was playing e4, I got pretty good at this, where there's a point where, like, I see the Sicilian defense, I kind of knew all the lines. So it's a really good move. If you're a player and you're looking to improve your chess and you need a repertoire against this, look at this. It's very easy to learn as well. You can learn it just by looking at engines and what's been played before. So there's nothing crazy, no books. The move e6 is played. So the move e6 is played, maybe preparing a central strike. Now I played the move knight b to c3 because I just want to add more control to the center here. We see the move a6, which is very common in the Sicilian, just taking away this b5 square. Excuse me. And now I played the move g3. And the whole point of this opening with this putting my knight here is I can't get my bishop out right, so I have to go this way. I have to go g3, and this is known as a fianchetto. So after the move b5, I put my bishop on this nice diagonal. And I can build up the center this way. I can castle, I can bring my bishop out and go queen d2. I could even castle queenside in some moves, but I probably wouldn't castle queenside because he's got these pawns here. So the move bishop b7 is now played, and now I played the move a3. Now a3 isn't always played, it has been played a lot of the time though, and this is a very common idea, especially when your opponent's expanding here. The point of a3 is, if my opponent wanted to go b4, now that my pawn's on a3, instead of just having to move my knight back, say I didn't have a pawn here, and now when I take and take, now I've got this open file. As you see, I should literally just about draw up my fingers. As you see, when I take, it opens up this file. So now, at least, when he takes, at least I've got more pressure along this file. I can go c3 and try bring it back, and now I've got the open a file. Especially with this kind of structure, it could be a bit weak. That's why I played the move a3, just so you know. My opponent played the move knight f6, and now he is maybe threatening to remove the defender of this pawn here. And then, so he's got 2, I've got 2, but he could remove a defender. So here I played the move d3. My opponent played the move d5, a central strike. And I should say, when I'm playing this opening, this is probably the only variation where I feel pretty uncomfortable in. There's lots of other ones where black goes d6, and I can kind of build up with f4 and all that. So this move, d5, he really strikes the center, and I've got to do something. I either go bishop g5, which is slightly, you know, maybe goes here, I don't have too much space, but I can also exchange, and this is what I did. I went knight d5, and here I played the move castles. Now, my thinking was, if I exchange here, and go here, and he goes queen here, after his queen's going to be quite well placed here, and he's going to really control this diagonal. So say if I castle, his queen's still going to be on this kind of good square. And I could play this. In fact, it actually transposes very similar. So I could have done that, but instead I wanted to castle first. He went bishop e7. Now I should say, if he had gone here, I say I go here, he goes here, knight c6. Without this light square bishop, my king is a bit weak. The engine says f3. And it's still pretty good for black. I'd probably prefer to play black here. I can still survive. I can probably bring my knight somewhere. We got dark square bishop versus dark square bishop. It would be interesting, but, you know, against a Fide master, this would be quite hard to play because it's one of those positions where, you know, it's whoever's really better at chess in those positions. So anyway, after bishop e7, let's just go back a bit. I castled here, bishop e7. Now I took and I exchanged, and we kind of got the same thing I was just showing. Slightly different though, because I've got a new tempo, so I can play the move knight c4, and this has been played before, by the way. So I went knight c4. My knight is not doing an awful lot. It could go here. I'll tell you my whole reasoning, by the way. So I could have gone knight c3, but the benefit of what I thought with knight f4 is that at least I can team up on against his king. If you have a castle's king side, I can put this knight on the h5 square. And I was actually reading a book at the time when I was sick. It's called The Art of the Attack, and it spoke about the importance of attacking this g7 pawn, because it can be very weak. It spoke about this is probably the easiest pawn for black to defend. So these two pawns are more your targets, but this pawn can be very hard to defend, especially if you have a couple pieces. And a dark square bishop in this case. So that's why I went knight f4. I wanted to get my knight into the game and get it more further up the board. Notice how it's on the fourth rank. I was going to say juxtaposed to the third rank and try to sound like I went to Oxford. But just literally, I just wanted, the further up the board the knight gets, the more valuable it becomes until you reach about this rank, because then his control goes off the board. He went, played the move queen c6. Now I wanted to stop my opponent from kind of castling, so I played the move queen g4. And you might be wondering, well, how on earth did this stop him from castling? Well, I kind of thought here that I could probably play a move like knight h5, and at least I provoke a move like g6. And it's still looking pretty good for me here. I mean, I can bring my rook in. He's also creative his dark side weaknesses, so you know, I could probably go here, and at least he's kind of you know, his position. I've got probably the better position here, I'm gonna guess. So yeah, that's what I thought anyway. So that's why he didn't castle. He probably just thought it was quite deadly. So that's why he went g6 first, to kind of stop this whole idea of a knight h5. Now here I played the move rook e1. I was also reading in the book The Art of the Attack that when your opponent hasn't castled, it's extremely important that you control the e-file. Because that's where the king starts. It always starts on the e-file. And if you can get a rook to the e-file, it really lines up a lot of kind of sacrifices and stuff, as we might see. My opponent played the move knight e7, and now I invite you to pause the video and try find the move I played. It's not winning, but it's the start of a big combination. So I invite you to pause the video. I'm going to have a sip of this. Right. So if you did pause the video, congratulations if you found the move knight e6. I mean, the engine actually awarded me a brilliant move for this. They may have, yeah. Okay, so what's the point? He took in the game, which is a blunder. He had to play this move, knight f6, to attack my queen. And I would have had to play the move knight g7 here. And after this, my plan was to actually go queen f4. But apparently queen h4 is a lot better. Sorry, queen f4. The point is, if he ever takes, well, I can also always take there. I can always go like play this, and then I just take this back, and it's a very good position. So he can never like take this knight because I always take here. So going back a bit, back to knight e6, he had to go knight f6, and I would have been up a pawn. But here he played this move, and now I played the move rook e6, and after now knight f6, he tries to go for the same idea, but it doesn't quite work because I'll let you pause the video and try to find the final move. Try to find the final move. Congratulations if you do, because it was Queen E2, and after Queen E2, he actually just resigned because there's nothing he can really do. I'm threatening his queen, but I'm also threatening to take here. For example, he played the move Queen C7. I can actually just take here, and this is pinned. He cannot take because it was a pin. So there's nothing he can actually really do at all. No way to defend this knight. I mean, I could even play the move Bishop G5 if I really wanted to, but I just take. So that's why he resigns. That's a 17 move victory. I went pretty nuts after I won this game. And if you're on that journey of chess improvement, well, I wish you luck. And it's you're gonna come across lots of different players, but you will come across those games where they're a bit different to other ones, and it's just something special about it. So anyway, thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.